Hello everyone and welcome back to another China admissions video. Today's video is here to help international students with choosing the correct dorm options. So I have also been an international student. I did my bachelor's degree at Shenzhen University and I have stayed in a couple of different types of dorms. And today we're going to be going over the most common types of dorms that you will get to choose from if you are going to be staying on campus. One thing to keep in mind is that usually if you're a degree student, you're not really going to have any issues with booking on-campus accommodation, since degree students get the first option to choose. And for non-degree students, such as Chinese language students or foundation program students or summer or winter students, you will usually not be able to book accommodation on campus. So if that is the case, please check out our other videos that go over how to book accommodation off campus. It's not an extremely difficult process, but if you don't know a lot about the process, it can seem very daunting. So we have quite a couple of guides on how to make that very easy for yourself. So I definitely would recommend checking out those. So the most common option that you're going to have is to have an international students dormitory, and you will have a room and an ensuite bathroom per room. Now, whether that room is allocated as a double room or a single room, that is up to you and what you want to choose, but that's usually what you're going to have. Some might have balconies and some might not have balconies. So this is something that you'll have to see with the university, which options they have, which buildings they have, and also depending on which building, the rooms might look different and they might have different prices, but that's usually what it's going to be. So the most common option is to ask for a single room. Now this is very popular with international students, and it's very understandable that you would want to have some privacy and some independence, especially when you are getting adjusted to living in a completely different area. Now, a lot of people really just want to have a single room from the get-go, and this is not always the best idea. I do think that it is a good idea to first start off having a roommate and being able to get to know someone who is just as new as you and being able to make friends that way. And you can always ask to be placed into a single room if it's really not working out for you and you would really just prefer to be in a single room. The other thing is that a single room might not be available. A lot of people are asking for single rooms, and usually for the first year students, that means that you might not have first priority to a single room, and that the older students might get priority to the single rooms, or there might just not be a lot of availability due to the high demand. So you might have to go with a double room or a different type of room instead. Some of the drawbacks of having a single room is obviously not being able to really make friends with someone from the beginning, and then also it's going to be a lot more expensive as well. So it might not be within your budget to be living in a single room. It might be more affordable for you to be living in a shared room. And like we just discussed, shared rooms are sometimes a great way for you to save money and also make a friend in the process as well. Usually the university is quite good with being able to separate the spaces. So if that is the case and you do have a shared room, from the beginning talk to your roommate about how you would like to divide your space to make sure that each person has their own individual space where they can have some privacy, and you can also possibly talk to them about getting a room divider for certain periods of times as well if you would just like that extra bit of privacy. Some people get very anxious about being placed into a room where they might not have a very nice roommate. However, you do have the option to go to the teacher and just to state that because you can just not get along with this person, that you can switch to a different room, or you would like to switch to a different room and have a different roommate, and that is usually not an issue at all. So a different type of dorm building that you could possibly have, and this is actually the dorm building that I had, is a suite style dormitory. So this is usually where they have a small block of flats put together, and each flat or apartment will have a common area, like a dining area, a bathroom that you all share, and then also a kitchen and a balcony, and then a couple of rooms in that. So you can have, maybe some of the apartments might have 3 rooms, some might have 4 rooms, and then you book a room, you book a space in the room. So I had a space in a double room, and then there were 2 single rooms. So we all together were 4 girls staying together. And in all honesty, it worked out pretty well for all of us. We got along just great, and it was nice to be able to have that extra space and not have to go down to like a very big laundry area where there are so many machines, and all the international students, boys and girls, were all doing their things together over there. So it was nice to be able to have all of that just for the 4 of us. So I think that that is a great option if you can do that. It's also usually cheaper just because there is only 1 bathroom and that's being shared between 4 people. But in general, I've found that if you have the right people staying there, it can be quite a pleasant experience. That being said, I also stayed in a single room in this kind of apartment-like dormitory, and I also really liked that aspect of being able to close your door and still have your own, you know, private space. And that is something that I really enjoyed. And then also the fact that you have an apartment means that it's quite nice to be able to invite friends over, to host dinner parties, to be able to study together, to talk together, to be able to cook together. So in that aspect, it was a really nice experience. Some people might just really want to avoid that, and they would really just like to go for an ensuite single room. Just remember that there's going to be a big price difference. Also, when I was applying to get on-campus accommodation, those types of ensuite rooms, double and single, were fully booked up, and I wasn't able to get anything, and there was only this space left available. So even though I might have wanted the other one, there was only one option that I could have gone with. So try to make the best out of the options that you have available, and also make sure to book your accommodation as soon as you know you've been accepted at the university, to talk to the teachers to find out how you can book accommodation. So to give you guys a rundown of the numbers, I can't give you exact numbers for all of the universities. I can only give you the numbers for what I experienced at my university, at Shenzhen University. These prices might have changed a little bit, but the prices will be in and around the same amount. Okay, so for a shared apartment where you're staying in an shared room, so it's a double room with another person in an apartment, it's going to cost you about 5,500 RMB per semester. So that's for 6 months. And that also includes the holidays as well. Another option is to have a single room in a shared apartment, and that's going to cost you about 7,000 RMB per semester. If you're going to be sharing a room in a normal ensuite international dormitory and it's a double room, then it's usually going to cost you about 8,000 RMB per semester. And if you have booked a single room in an ensuite normal international dormitory, it's going to cost you close to 10,000 RMB per semester. So I hope this was helpful information for you guys to try and choose the type of dormitory that you'd like to stay in, and to give you kind of the ups and downs of the different types of dormitories. So if you have any questions regarding staying in dormitories, please be sure to leave the questions down below, and make sure to like and subscribe for more videos.